Have you ever noticed something painful about yourself? The more someone pulls away, the more you think about them. The less they care, the more you feel attached. And the moment they finally want you back, something inside you goes quiet. This is not love. This is psychology. And once you understand it, you will never chase the wrong person again. Why rejection feels addictive. The human brain is not designed to chase love. It is designed to chase validation. When someone doesn't want us, our mind doesn't hear rejection, it hears a challenge. And challenges trigger obsession. The brain mistakes pain for connection. Here's the dark truth most people never hear. Your brain releases more dopamine when affection is inconsistent, not steady love, not safety, not peace, uncertainty. That's why breadcrumbs feel powerful. That's why mixed signals feel intense. That's why emotionally unavailable people feel unforgettable. Why availability kills desire in the unhealed mind. When someone is emotionally available, there is no mystery, no tension, no chase. So the mind relaxes. But an unhealed mind doesn't want peace. It wants stimulation. And emotional distance provides exactly that. The trauma bond nobody talks about. If love in your past came with waiting, proving yourself, earning attention, emotional uncertainty, then your nervous system learned one thing: love equals anxiety. So when someone doesn't want you, your body feels familiar pain, and the mind confuses familiarity with fate. Why you think this one is different? Your ego whispers, if I can make this person love me, it proves my worth. So you don't want them. You want the confirmation. Their rejection becomes a mirror, and you start negotiating with your own value. The chase becomes your identity. Slowly, without noticing, you check your phone more. You analyze tone. You replay conversations. You lower standards. You over-explain. You wait. And waiting becomes who you are. Why your self-respect starts to fade. Every time you choose someone who chooses distance, your mind learns a dangerous lesson. I must work for love, and love that must be earned never feels secure. The moment it stops feeling like love, at some point you realize you're not excited, you're anxious, you're not happy, you're hopeful, you're not chosen, you're tolerated. But by then, you're already attached. Soft cliffhanger, very important. And here's the part most people don't expect. The reason you want them more has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with what their absence awakens inside you. Why emotionally unavailable people feel magnetic. They don't give much. They don't explain. They don't reassure. They don't chase. And that distance triggers something ancient inside you. The mind fills silence with imagination, and imagination is stronger than reality. Your inner child is leading the attraction. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You are not chasing them. Your inner child is. If, growing up, love felt inconsistent, your nervous system learned to associate affection with effort. So now, calm feels boring. Chaos feels familiar. Distance feels like home. Why your body confuses anxiety with chemistry. That tight feeling in your chest, the racing thoughts, the constant thinking, that is not love. That is your nervous system in survival mode. Your body is trying to win safety, not romance. The intermittent reward trap. Psychology calls this intermittent reinforcement. Small doses of attention, long gaps of silence. This creates the strongest addiction pattern in the brain. Stronger than consistency, stronger than kindness, stronger than respect. Because your brain keeps hoping, maybe this time. Why you become fixated on proving your value. Their disinterest feels personal. So your mind asks, what's wrong with me? And instead of leaving, you try harder. You change tone. You shrink needs. You tolerate disrespect. Because winning them feels like winning yourself. While you ignore red flags don't disappear. Your mind just explains them away. They're busy. They're scared. They've been hurt. You create stories so you don't have to face the truth. The moment you lose yourself, one day you realize you are no longer present in your own life. You are waiting, watching, hoping, and someone else controls your emotional weather. Why they feel powerful, even if they're not. They're not special. They're just emotionally unavailable. And availability is power only to someone who hasn't healed. The hardest realization: if someone wanted you, you wouldn't be confused. If someone valued you, you wouldn't be anxious. If someone chose you, you wouldn't be chasing. Soft cliffhanger. But here's what most people miss. The moment you stop chasing, the attraction often flips. What actually happens when you stop chasing? When you stop chasing, you don't disappear. You become unfamiliar, and unfamiliarity creates curiosity. The same distance that once made them powerful now removes their advantage. Because they were never special, they were just unavailable. Why your detachment feels threatening to them. When you chased, they felt safe. Safe knowing you'd wait, you'd respond, you'd stay. Your detachment removes that safety. And people panic when control disappears. The brain reacts to loss stronger than gain. Psychology proves this. Loss feels twice as intense as gain. So the moment you emotionally step back, their mind finally registers risk. Not love, not longing. Risk. Why they start thinking about you more now. They think about you because you stopped validating them. You stopped asking. You stopped proving. Your absence creates unanswered questions. And unanswered questions loop in the mind. The shift from ego to insecurity. Before, ego said, "They want me." Now ego asks, "Do I still matter to them?" That question destabilizes their identity. Why some people only want what they're losing? They didn't want you. They wanted access. They wanted comfort without responsibility. When you remove access, desire appears. But desire born from loss is not the same as love. The moment you see them clearly, detachment gives clarity. You notice how little effort they made, how much you overgave, how much you tolerated. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Why you no longer feel the same pull. Your nervous system starts calming. Peace replaces anxiety. And peace doesn't crave chaos. That's when you realize you weren't attracted to them. You were attached to the pattern. The truth about attraction flipping. Sometimes they come back. Sometimes they don't. But here's the truth. If they only want you when you stop wanting them, they never wanted you. They wanted the chase. Why this is the most dangerous moment. This is where many people fall back. They see interest. They feel validation. They think, maybe now it's different. But nothing changed yet. Interest is not effort. Attention is not consistency. Words are not behavior. Soft cliffhanger, very important. And here's the final truth we must talk about. Breaking this pattern isn't about making them want you. It's about choosing yourself even when they finally do. In Part 4 Final, we'll cover how to fully exit this attraction loop, how to stop craving unavailable people, and how to build desire without losing yourself. The most important truth you'll ever hear. You don't heal by becoming more desirable. You heal by becoming emotionally unavailable to what harms you. The goal was never to make them want you. The goal was to stop wanting people who cannot meet you. Why walking away feels like withdrawal. Letting go feels painful because your body is detoxing. You weren't addicted to them. You were addicted to the highs, the hope, the anticipation, the fantasy. And like any addiction, clarity comes after discomfort. the moment you choose self-respect. Self-respect isn't loud. It doesn't argue. It doesn't prove. It doesn't chase. It quietly says, "This costs me too much," and walks away. Why peace feels boring at first? When chaos was normal, peace feels empty. Your nervous system isn't used to safety. So calm feels unfamiliar. But unfamiliar doesn't mean wrong. It means healed. How to break the attraction loop. You break the loop by believing actions over words, choosing consistency over chemistry, valuing peace over intensity, walking away at the first sign of confusion. Clarity is the new attraction. The type of love that doesn't trigger you. Healthy love feels calm, steady, mutual, emotionally safe. No guessing, no anxiety, no emotional hunger. And at first, it may not feel exciting. That's because your nervous system is finally resting. Why? You won't fall for this again. Once you see the pattern, you can't romanticize it anymore. You recognize emotional unavailability instantly. And instead of chasing, you lose interest. That's growth. The final shift. The moment you stop asking, "Why don't they want me?" and start asking, "Why do I want someone who doesn't?" everything changes. Final message to you. You were never too much. You were just giving to someone who didn't know how to hold you. The right connection won't confuse you. It will choose you. Why understanding is not enough. You already know they weren't right for you. You already know the pattern. You already know the logic. But the pull is still there. Why? Because healing doesn't happen in the mind first. It happens in the nervous system. Your body learned love through tension, waiting, and emotional hunger. So even when your mind says no, your body still reaches. The body remembers what the heart endured. Every time you waited for a reply, every time you overthought silence, every time you felt relief just because they showed interest again, your body stored that. Not as love, as survival. Why you felt alive with them. You didn't feel alive because they were special. You felt alive because your nervous system was activated. Uncertainty creates adrenaline. Distance creates obsession. Inconsistency creates attachment. That's not passion. That's dysregulation. The shift from attachment to attraction. Real attraction feels different. It doesn't spike your heart rate. It doesn't make you anxious. It doesn't make you doubt yourself. It feels grounding. And that's why many people reject it at first. Because calm doesn't match the old definition of love. Why your body resists healthy love. Healthy love doesn't trigger old wounds. And when wounds aren't triggered, the mind says, something is missing. But what's missing is chaos. This is where real healing begins. Healing begins when you sit with discomfort instead of chasing relief. You allow loneliness without abandoning yourself. You let the urge pass without acting on it. Urges rise, urges peak, urges fade. You don't have to obey them. The moment you stop abandoning yourself, every time you didn't speak your truth, every time you accepted crumbs, every time you stayed quiet to keep them, that was self-abandonment. Now healing looks like choosing yourself even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Why they still cross your mind, not because they were the one, but because your system is closing an old loop. The mind revisits what the body hasn't released yet. And release takes time. You are not going back. You are detoxing. Missing them doesn't mean you made a mistake. It means your nervous system is recalibrating, like muscles sore after growth. This is strength being built. The final internal shift. One day, without forcing it, you will think of them and feel nothing. No anger, no longing, no pull, just neutrality. And neutrality is freedom. What this journey was really about. It was never about them. It was about teaching you boundaries, self-worth, emotional literacy, nervous system safety. They were the lesson, not the destination. Soul-level truth. The love you were chasing outside was the safety you were missing inside. Now you're building it. And once you do, you will never crave unavailable people again.